Cuckoo Kachoo. Happy Tuesday, friends. Hey, man, thank you for joining in with me yesterday. Hope you join me today of getting one in, okay? I busted the book More Life out for our Power Week today. Talk a little bit about these commitments that are in this book, okay? Because that's what I'm usually explaining to folks. That's what I want you to know is some of these commitments that will help you have a more abundant life, a more purposeful life. And the first commitment is embrace the challenge, right? Because God speaks to us in challenge. He speaks to us in challenge. He meets us in challenge, right? It's a way, it's the university of the universe. That's how I like to think of it. When you're out here and you're meeting challenges, the number one to think of is God gives us choice. And in that choice, you can choose to confront it. You can choose to run away from it. You can choose to deny it. You can do like some of my clients do, right? And you can pretend that you don't see the challenge, right? And don't get me wrong, that ain't a bad thing, right? Because sometimes the challenge is so monstrous. Sometimes it's so ugly. Sometimes it's not, you wouldn't want to show it to anybody. And so I understand why people don't want to look at it. I understand why you want to avoid it. Hell, it ain't always my cup of tea neither. I just know how important it is to turn right where you are. Turn right where you are and know that God delivered you from the lion and he delivered you from the bear. So guess what? Do your work, man. Look into that challenge. Trust me, he is going to make you grow and you're going to learn something. So let me just say, man, for that commitment number one, embrace the challenge on our Power Week here. And then I got a journaling pointer, something for you to reflect on for the day. You know, Power Weeks are about movement and connection, right? And those two things help us get our minds right. They help us get our heads screwed on straight, our vision appropriately. I believe if you did those things, you would think clearer. You would see your challenge better. And you would understand that God has not left you. And so that's the purpose. But here's what I'd ask you to take into the day for our first commitment, embrace the challenge. How are you challenging yourself spiritually? Think about that. How are you challenging yourself spiritually? I ain't fit to argue with you, man. You know you got to leave this body. You don't see enough people leave this world. You know you got to go somewhere. How are you challenging yourself spiritually? That's a good question to ask yourself. And I'm the pot calling the kettle black because it's still a question I should ask myself. And I don't care if you're the Pope listening to this. I still would say to you, brother, how are you challenging yourself spiritually? And then I would ask yourself, how are you challenging yourself physically? Can you give yourself two really, really good answers? Are you making choices to challenge yourself spiritually? Are you making choices to challenge yourself physically? Because as we already spoke, when we embrace the challenge, it's going to be spiritual and physical. And you're going to need your weight up, son. You're going to need a little pep in your step. I love you, man. Hey, listen, once again, if you got your books, break it out. Take a look at that chapter 1, embrace the challenge. And then you heard my journaling point. How are you challenging yourself spiritually and emotionally? I love you, man. Hope everybody's okay after the storm. And I look forward to your pictures and your videos and your comments about like not leaving me out here by myself. I love you. Happy Tuesday, man. I'll see you tomorrow.